Cannot breathe, cannot see, cannot breathe, cannot breathe, cannot see, cannot breathe.
När jag, du går iväg.
Cannot see,
Du går iväg.
horizon's too high, it's dark on my side. I made my own clouds, flew by my pride. The ship falls away, night turned to day. Remember why? Fire consumed, ashes remain.
Du går iväg. Jag kan inte
Cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between.
andas. När jag ser hur
Cannot breathe, cannot see, cannot breathe. Cannot breathe,
jag kan
cannot see,
inte
cannot breathe.
när jag, du går iväg.
Cannot see, cannot breathe.
När jag, du går iväg.
Cannot see,
Du går iväg.
cannot look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between. I cannot breathe, I can't see, I can't look in between.
Jag kan inte andas när jag ser hur du går iväg. Jag kan inte andas när jag ser hur du går iväg. Du går iväg.
Cannot breathe,
Jag kan
cannot see,
inte
cannot breathe.
andas när jag,
Cannot breathe,
jag kan
cannot see,
inte
cannot breathe.
när jag, du går iväg.
Yeah. Love the song, huh?
Cannot see,
Du går iväg.
Let's welcome everybody with the air horn.
horizon's too high,
Air horn
it's
working?
dark on my side.
There it is.
I made my own clouds, flew by my pride. The
You got air horn, right?
ship falls
got
away,
air horn, right?
night turned to day.
That's right.
Remember why?
All right, everybody, welcome to another Monday Night Live, the SPICK SPAN Show. Every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific time, for those of you guys on the East Coast. Music should be off now, I believe. Yeah, most of you guys who are joining us from the NXL updates, no Vegas, that's correct. Here, scoot over this way a tiny bit. That's right, no Vegas. Bummer, no gambling, but you know, there's a reason for it. I think Tom explained it, and I think it was just because they got to go with the events that are kind of guaranteed to not get shut down. You won't find a large grand scale event here in California.
No.
Although there is one slated to be at Dave's Field, and that's going to be an amateur event, but they can hold those on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
And we'll get into all those NXL updates as we get going here. And guys, Gabe and Jeff and all you guys who are liking that song, David, Sound Guy Needs a Raves. Thank you, Jacob. So that is actually the Red Giant project. It's a buddy of mine out here from San Diego. Worked with Carl Dennison, actually, who's famous. I thought he was from AC/DC, but I could be wrong. But anyway, they did this big project and made that song right there, along with a whole album that's similar. That's my favorite song from the album. Then there's just a couple other pretty good ones. But my buddy actually is one of the 2 guys that are in Vocab Company who do pretty much all the soundtracks to all my little travel videos.
Yeah.
Shout out to Low Gravity. You guys just gave me this shirt last weekend. Shout out to, actually, we'll jump into the Boston Combine that we just got back from. So shout out from everybody who came out to the Boston Combine.
Just flew in a couple hours ago.
Yeah, flew straight in, right to the SPICK SPAN Show. For those of you guys who are joining us, I want to thank everybody for the support. I see a ton of people already in the comments section. All you guys in the green with the air horn logos and the 2021 logos. You guys are all members of the channel, so we do appreciate everybody who is a member. We just got a new mega support status member, and his name is Dan Berth. So, air horn for you, Dan. Air horn for all of our mega support status members and all of our members in general. Actually, for those of you guys who are mega support status members, I need to get your addresses. I got welcome posters here for Cody McDaniels, Quentin, and Dan Berth. I need to put the rest of the details right here. Also, guys who are members, have you been getting little presents in the mail? I did see David Reed's. Some of you guys got really special. I wanted to show you this.
Is this a stamp specifically for?
It's exact amount for the postage. I know.
For this.
And then for some reason, this one he had to put 2 pairs on this one. This one came with a poinsettia and 2 pairs. I don't know why.
Wait, so how much does this stamp cost?
I don't know.
Is this more expensive?
It's not just a regular. It's not a 32-cent stamp or whatever the mail costs now. It's like $1.10.
So that one's just
I think they're $1.20.
That one we're just wasting money on.
No. He said this one weighs more. It's the same exact
Really?
thing. Yeah. Literally the exact same. It's the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, it does weigh more.
It does, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe I put 2 little cardboards.
Do
in
it.
Yeah.
It definitely weighs more.
Yeah. 20
This
cents.
is like-
20 cents more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot that goes into what the love and care that you guys are getting in the mail here. Shout out to everybody. Garrett Hobbs, I saw that you got your mug. Jeffrey Sano, I saw you got your mug. I wanted to show you this video, but it's like the disappearing ink on it. Garrett Hobbs. Some of you guys got special treats in your
Garrett
mugs.
said thanks for the egg.
And he actually sent me a video of it as well.
Can you eat it?
Did you eat it? Jacob, did you get it? All right, cool. Some of you guys got Halloween candy. Some of you guys got stickers. Some of you guys got hard-boiled duck eggs that have been on curing in that nice little mug right there. So it's good to know that those are all coming your way, and those are getting dropped off. If you guys want to join, support the show, you can click the join button there and become a member. We got special members giveaways. We got a ton of stuff actually to give away all month. And like we said, shout out to Isaac Orozco.
Speaking of the
Sorry
egg,
about that.
I was thinking about something that I figured I'd save it for the show before I asked you. So Ryan and I keep doing these like would you rathers about the peanut brittle, like how much to eat it again. Like I've been asking Ryan that, or like thinking of random things, but I thought of a good one.
Mm-hmm.
So
to eat the peanut brittle again?
So you have to give it to your mom and she has to eat a half of the third one, or you have to eat all 3 of them again. It's a full thing.
That's so mean.
Oh, this is difficult.
I can't give it to my mom. She might die. Like I think there should be a warning label on there that like if you're under 18 or you're over 60, do not eat this.
Yeah.
I think there's probably a pregnancy thing on there.
Yeah.
Like you want to get the package and see if there's any.
It definitely says that.
If you're pregnant, don't definitely.
Or any pre-existing conditions. I think it says don't.
Yeah, and if you don't have pre-existing conditions, then you will after you eat that.
Yes.
Speaking of which, Todd, Did you eat it? Is Todd in here? I know he bought 2 packs of them.
Yeah, a lot of people ate it, and they were like, kind of brushed it off.
No.
I think so.
No, I don't buy that at all. I don't buy that at all. But anyway.
Oh yeah, college football. There's a big game tonight.
Is there?
I think Alabama versus
Oh, well, let's shut it
Ohio.
down. Shut it down
Yeah.
then. Yeah, we got to watch that. No, we got a good show for you guys. We've got a couple of hypothetical things that we want to talk about, and a huge takeaway from the Boston Combine that we saw, and it was something that was like consistent over all day on Saturday for all the drills that we did, and then Sunday going into like this open play thing that we did with there were 40 players out there, basically 4 teams worth of guys, and we did a bunch of games, and it was something that was consistent with all of them, and I think it's going to resonate with everybody here watching this, which is kind of like paintball career and what to do. Also going to talk about the Champions Cup and the NXL. There's a new pickup on AC Dallas. You're going to hear it here first. It's actually a player that we mentioned last week that came up through the BKI, the summer camp. He's been to the combines out there. If anybody out there can make the guess, you guys are welcome to guess who that is. I don't think it's been released yet, so we're going to drop it.
Unless Jay Stu puts it in there first.
Yeah, of course Jay Stu's going to do it. Yeah, of course. Shout out to Mr. Steve Frazier. Thank you for the support. I'm still working with Fran to try to get a combine set up to go out there. We also have a new combine drill. It's actually not new. It was at the original combine in 2019, 18 or 19. But we got rid of it for scheduling purposes.
Not the first one in 1875.
Not the first one that Sam Adams, Ben Franklin, and
Edgar
Edgar
Allan
Allan Poe
Poe.
went to.
Yeah.
In Boston. We also got a couple of giveaways. Remember we said last week we're going to give away some pads. We want to make sure everybody's protected going into the 2021 season. So we got a pair of Planet Eclipse large knee pads. If they don't fit you, either grow into them, slim down, or sell them but get another pair. That's just kind of like you got 3 options there. I apologize. Also, celebrating New Balance Team Store is back up and running. There are going to be limited amounts of product in inventory available to you guys, but all the discounted merch perk and the members that are higher than the discounted merch perk, you guys already have access to that team store, so make sure you get that soon. Also, a special donation from Team Low Gravity and Jeff. We got, boom, a pair of push goggles. We're not going to give them away on this show, but we will spin the wheel either next week or the week after. And I've got a good idea.
It's a nice mask case.
I got a good, yeah, this is a nice mask case. How does that go on? We wear the protective shield.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do the Jedi work, like in Star Wars, the Star Wars, the very first one that ever came out.
You're trying to run drills for sure.
Yeah, you're trying to run
Put
drills.
this on.
That's how you can fit that thing right there like that.
Yeah.
That's a good look.
Yeah.
It's a good look. Shout out to Blue Ridge Paintball Club also hooking up with the New Balance Team Store. Yeah, Blue Ridge. Exciting stuff. Again, if you guys don't know what the Blue Ridge Paintball Club is, make sure you guys check out the Play the Game podcast with Dave Cheney. We've actually talked about it, I think, about 5 or 6 times on the show already. Probably one of the best ones I've heard on there.
One of my favorite ones, too.
Yeah.
Just as, like, going back to school for business, there's so much
yeah.
good. I actually reached out to Dave after it, and I was like, dude, that was such a good podcast. And he's like, I was like, I'd love to just pick your brain. And then I talked, like, a few days later. I talked to him for, like, an hour and a half. Just asked him a bunch of questions.
Tons of really good knowledge there.
Yeah, he's...
And it's actually, we talked about it, I think, right around when we were talking about sponsorship and kind of like what to do and how to represent sponsors. And he's been working in sponsorship with large, massive brands forever.
Yeah.
And so like it's great to understand that type of knowledge, especially after navigating the water of paintball sponsorship for all the time, all these years. It's like interesting to see the different ways that they kind of work separately or and similarly.
Sure.
Or more so on the separately part. So let's see here. Also,
dive into first.
Oh, well, we can go straight into the NXL info right here. So first off, we've got we've got the NXL schedule for 2021 right here.
Antarctica event.
We unfortunately couldn't get Tom to sign off on Antarctica, but hopefully maybe we can run that in 2022.
Yeah.
I know he's actually I just got off the phone with him. He's talking about he might have the dates for 2022 locked in in the middle of this year.
Wow.
But here are your dates. You're checking out right here. Oh, damn, I did it right here. The two dates in red, and now I know this was somewhat confusing, but there are 6 dates you're seeing here. The 2 dates in red are not mandatory for pro or semi-pro, but it allows teams that don't normally go to all of the events. If you're a D2 team, most D2 and D1 teams, D2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, most of those teams play one event only, or 2 events only. So if you want to be able to be in the running for the Super Cup at the end of the year, you don't have to fly to Philly and then just to Florida and then you don't have to fly all over the nation. You can just go to one of the 2 that are closest to you, and they're going to take the top 3 scores of any of those, I believe, 6 events, right? Majors and amateur opens, yeah. So any of your top 3, you're going to be able to take your top 3 scores. So some of the teams that have a higher budget can go to all 6 if they really want to.
Yeah.
But again, more often than not, the majority, like a high majority of those divisional teams, only end up playing 1 or 2 events.
Yep.
So this allows you to be able to easily play 3 and still be in the running, because there's a West Coast event and an East Coast or a Texas event. And I know that all you guys from Texas, I know it's sad there is no pro Texas event, even though there are 3 teams from Texas. Mm-hmm. And a lot of you guys, a lot of support from the paintball industry in Texas, but they just they got to choose the areas that they know that they're going to guarantee to be able to hold an event, especially in these kind of weird times.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out
to have events.
Yeah, make sure to have the events than not. And I know that prize packages were kind of brushed over on that one. Tom mentioned it's going to be about $250,000 prize package, but that's going to be plus or minus that. He's got to redo the budget. I just talked because I wanted to get what the numbers were, and he said he couldn't settle on the numbers yet because up until last night we talked to him, there were going to be 5 pro events. Wow. Remember last night? Yeah. He's like, yeah, we're going to do the 5th one. I think I just got to wait till tomorrow morning. Like, what?
Just to verify.
Make up your mind, guys. But he verified it, talked with the owners, talked with a lot of the pro teams, and they felt that 4 events starting in May is best for pros.
Sure.
But I'm excited. I know everybody's excited to get going. And then the way the pro and the semi-pro is going to work is you take your the 4 event scores, so the top 8 teams will go on. But if you win an event, this is a small caveat, if you win an event, you're automatically entered into the top 8.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you can take first place, last place, last place, last place, and you're still in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so as soon as you win an event, you get an automatic berth into the Champions Cup.
Wow.
We call it Super Cup. Tom was doing that too. So the Champions Cup is what it's going to be called. I believe it's going to be in February of next year. So then it'll roll over to 5 events for the top 8 teams throughout the season moving forward. So yeah, event 1 for the pros are going to be in April 30th to May 2nd. Event 2, and that's going to be in Florida. Event 2 is going to be in Philly, June 25th to the 27th. Then there's going to be a big break until September 17th to the 19th in Chicago. And then back to Florida, November 11th to the 14th, which is the same time, which will still be the true World Cup. And then after that, we'll go to the new year, 2022. And then sometime in February, we will have that Champions Cup.
Yeah.
Which will be the top 8 teams from each division will come in there and play, and it'll be guaranteed prize money. So, and we talked about this, right? Would you rather have guaranteed prize money or a prize per event? I said I'd rather have a guaranteed prize money at the end for the top 8 because we finished historically. So like our last win was 2017. So we won 1 event in 2017. That was Vegas. And then we didn't win in 2018 or 19, but we finished, I think, 5th place each of those 2 times.
Yeah.
And then this year, and then 2020, we took a 5th and then a 1st.
Yeah.
Which is great. So we won prize money 2 out of the 4 years.
Yeah.
So with that kind of for me, it's better to get that guaranteed prize package as long as we finish in the top 8.
Yeah.
With the chance to get a way higher prize package if you finish, top 4
Sure.
or first place.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot better. I think that's better for a lot of reasons. I'd like to hear what you guys all think about it as well. I know that there's a lot of flack in the divisional sections when they got to pay, like, what were they saying the other week? He's like, we pay $2,500 in entrance fee and we get $2,000 back or something.
Yeah.
Some guys were like, we don't even make our entrance fee back.
Yeah.
So that's obviously something that that's tough to swallow.
Sure.
Yeah, Jacob, it's no more fun. We're not going to be getting cars anytime soon. Actually, the funny enough about that is the 5 Mustangs. Tom Cole actually gave those to us.
Really?
Tom Cole was the president of Kingman, and he was the one. Well, actually, Arthur Chan and I believe Tina Chan was her name. They're the ones who bought the cars, but it was Tom's event. So yeah, funny how that comes full circle.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Tom's always rooting for us, because he's been there since like '98. Well, he's been there forever.
Yeah.
And then actually I remember World Cup in 1998 was my very first World Cup, and we played Bad Company. So back then there were mixed divisions, and Tom was on Bad Company, and that was because you play as amateur, you play 2 pro teams.
Sure.
If we played them in like the All A's or something, and we were the lowest amateur. It was like it goes pro, amateur A, amateur B, novice, rookie instead of like D2, 3,
Sure.
4, and we beat Bad Company on the hyperball field.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So we've been in it for a long time.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Been in it for a long time here. So we got a handful of questions coming in, and we'll get to your guys' questions here in a second. But the 2 events that you saw there that were listed in red, let's bring this thing back over here, are going to be the amateur open events. So again, Dallas and Sacramento. If you guys are in the area, you would want to go to those things and go to those and play those standalone events to kind of just pad your stats if that's what you want to do.
Sure.
That is August 13th to the 15th in Sacramento. That'll be a toasty one. And March 19th to the 21st in Dallas, Texas. That'll be at Paintball Fit and Capital Edge. Capital Edge Paintball. So that's kind of exciting. I like it. It's a little bit of a shake-up, a little different. But obviously they had to duck and weave and dodge and move.
Yeah.
With COVID and all that stuff.
I mean, you'll still probably see a lot of pro players out at those events, coaching other teams and helping out.
Yeah, and that's actually great, and that's a good point that you made that, because obviously you and I have been coaching a lot in the WCPPL events.
Mm-hmm.
But this definitely opens up more opportunity for the pro players also. Like, yes, it does. I like to compete, but we love to be able to help. It's also another revenue stream for us because things are obviously really slow this year. But but what did pick up is our ability to do clinics and coach, and it definitely helps the teams quite a bit. So you guys, if you're planning on playing in those events, grab a seasoned pro, a seasoned veteran pro, and see if they'll come out and help you and coach you. Because we can't emphasize, and I think we've talked about it several times on the show, how important an actual coach is to kind of help guide you.
Yeah,
and a coach that knows what they're talking about is generally a good one to grab. So yeah,
I mean, all the teams are seeing it too, especially at those WCBBLs. Like 1 or 2 pro guys out there, and now it's like, you're seeing like 5 to 10. So the other teams are, obviously noticing how helpful it can be, and it's just having a trickle effect and becoming more popular. So.
Sorry guys, I'm adding a couple names to the wheel. The wheel's getting big. We're gonna have to add, pump up a lot more prizes over here. You can see the size of this wheel. And hopefully Jay Stu hasn't hacked into the computer again. But we are up to 97, I believe. Members, right around there. So we're just hovering underneath the 100 mark. So we're going to try to get that bumped up to 100. Speaking of bumping things up, everybody make sure you guys hit the like button here. We got 100 viewers, 27 likes. We can ramp that up. We'll give you guys an air horn to ramp you guys up a little bit. Over there?
I think it's right here.
Yeah, I think it's right there.
Yeah.
Damn, you were that quick.
I was figuring out where it was.
Oh, smart.
On my body, and then
move from there.
Yeah.
Move from there. So let's go with. Let me see here on the notes. We got a couple of questions for some of the we had a couple of questions submitted. I actually really like this one that I just got from Kenton Fort. So this is actually a good one, and I don't know if we've talked about this before, but different colored paint. So PB Nation made a YouTube video in 2014 showing the differences between filling players using dark shell paint versus bright shell paint, and the yellow was way more visible, obviously. Would it be possible for the NXL and Ghost Sports to test glow-in-the-dark paint and its visibility on camera? Take it one step further, could the cameras pick up certain colors to enhance them, similar to visual green screen effect? Watching paintball on a TV screen can be difficult because you can't see the paint being flown through the air. So give a tracer effect. I love this, and this is actually something Paintball Access tried to do back in one of the Dallas events. I don't know. And this is kind of like, I'm going to take a dig here at GI Sports, only from the knowledge I know. So Paintball Access, which was basically the precursor to Go Sports, when the PSP was around, said the PSP and Paintball Access got together and said, all right, we need to make it mandatory that all paint manufacturers make a brightly colored ball,
Sure.
orange or yellow. So they sent out a notice to all the manufacturers. Everybody agreed. Everybody made the paint brightly colored. And then GI Sports at the last minute goes, nah. And so everybody who was using GI paint got dark purple shell, while we had these giant bright. Remember? Do you remember that? Vaguely.
Yeah.
So we had brightly colored paint, and obviously, if you guys have played against paint that's brightly colored, you can see it coming.
Yeah.
So you're at a pretty big disadvantage.
Sure.
If you're shooting at people and they can see it coming, and when they shoot at you, you can't.
Yeah.
Which was kind of a slimy thing. If in fact it's allegedly, if allegedly they actually did that. But that's from what I remember, what I heard.
But to add any sort of extras into the paint, you're looking at big cost. Like
they can change the ribbon, right? But so glow in the dark paint. Have you ever seen glow in the dark paint?
Mm-mm.
So glow in the dark paint is actually a clear ball, and the actual paint is glow in the dark. So I don't know how they would do it with the shell. I don't know if they can make the shell, but I believe it's what I've used is, remember at that guy in Peter Spencer's field? You never did the glow in the dark ball out in Australia?
I don't think so.
Huh. So yeah, you charge the actual fill of the ball rather than the shell in most glow in the dark paint. So, and I don't know how that would really pick up on camera anyway, because it would have to be charged and then it doesn't really glow during the day anyhow.
Yeah.
But yeah, a bright yellow ball, or that'd be kind of cool to like put for every like bag of 500, you put like 100 yellow balls, so there are tracers going through. Because we were just watching those videos of the tracers and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. I could get behind that. Right, back when the webcast was free. So that's another thing, Jay Stu. The reason that the webcast was free then was because they were trying to go through a sponsorship model and basically charge advertisers. Unfortunately, the paintball industry wasn't behind it very strongly. I think they had like 2 main sponsors, really. Yeah. So it wasn't self-sufficient. While there were more people watching it, and obviously everybody likes a free product. Yeah. Which, come to think of it, cable should be free if we have to watch the ads. Mm-hmm. Technically, with what I can understand from there. But you got to pay for the product, and then you also have to see the ads. So kind of like cable. Yeah. Unfortunately. But the subscription model is more more sustainable. So yeah. But yeah, it was tough. You're right. They were probably losing tons of money. Spanky's nice. Remember what allegedly means. So we actually may as well. Speaking of allegedly, we may as well announce allegedly. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want allegedly?
No, you get
okay.
Get that one.
I like these kids. I was rooting for them. So allegedly, we heard from somebody last night that allegedly AC Dallas picked up another player. Actually, we were going to spin the wheel, and one of you members were going to get a roster spot on AC Dallas, but I guess they already filled that spot. So that actually went to Harrison Stanton out of the Northeast. And I don't know if you were at the summer camp. Did you met Harrison Stanton?
I think I
He was
have.
there with
but-
he was there when Billy Summers was there.
yeah, I believe
there.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't know what team he was on previously though.
He was actually, we have it right here. He was on, he was on a semi-pro team. I only had it semi-pro. But anyway, he went out there to try out for them, and it's snowing. Was anybody else out in
Texas?
Texas this weekend? It was literally snowing.
New England Wreckage.
New England Wreckage. All right, good. Well, congrats to Harrison because he plays really well. I've coached him like numerous times in these. He was in the Boston Combine a bunch. Definitely one of the star younger talents to come out of that area, and it's really good to see that players are moving up out of that Northeast area. Obviously you have Revo up there. That's kind of the only the Hurricanes used to be a pretty big powerhouse up there, and I know that Jeff Stein is kind of trying to build those, but he put in his time. He came to the National Combine. Oh, that's right. He came to the National Combine, but something got delayed or he got stuck, so he couldn't show up until like Sunday. And he tried out for Team USA, and he made Team USA.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I believe he made Team USA. Am I correct with that? Dizon, you might know that, but I'm pretty sure if Lori's watching, I'm pretty sure he made Team USA also. Yeah, he has Team USA, but he flew. He didn't arrive until late or something like that. He got stuck somewhere. Or something happened. Something strange happened. But he was at the Combine last year.
Oh wow.
But yeah, yes, he is on Team USA.
Yeah.
So cool. So congrats to Harrison. Allegedly, congrats to Harrison Stanton. Allegedly. And then let's see here. We'll talk about. Let's see here. Oh yeah, let's talk about the combine, the BKI combine that we just did.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about some of the takeaways. Also, big shout out, like I said, big shout out to New York was in the house. New York Fearful. Gabby and Manny were back out there.
Yeah.
Gabby won kind of most improved best player out there.
Yeah.
She was doing a really good job. She was actually in our group, in the very first group, the one shining glimmer of light.
Yeah.
Which we can actually pivot to because she was the first one to hit both targets in the snake drill.
Yeah.
Even though her pack didn't fit her and she had to keep constantly trying to fix her pack the entire time. But that's kind of what we want to get into. Is I know a lot of people are prepping for the Arizona Combine, but just in general, you notice that the title of the show is kind of says "Do Less," but it's kind of like just don't be so antsy.
Yeah.
I think overall, it's just like that's a huge takeaway that I noticed this weekend was everybody was just trying too hard to do too much too fast.
Sure.
And it was it was a scary sight with our first group in the combine, the snake drill, which also leads me to another part is like if you guys are signed up for the Arizona Combine, make sure you study the drills.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Know what you're supposed to do because again, you're coming out there to showcase your skills and your talents.
Yeah.
And if you know what you're supposed to do and how to do it, and you have the visualization, then you can go out there and attack it. And Kyle, you said something great. It's like come out with a base score and get your score on the board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Because you're gonna do it a couple times. Give your something at least come out with something like to give you a foundation, and then you can go, okay, where can I cut some time or improve on these, one or two other tries that I have instead of completely botching it on the first one, and then that just sends your nerves.
And then pressure. Yeah.
I saw that a lot with the running and shooting drill too.
Yeah.
Is people would be crushing it through the first two, and then on the third one, or even like the third one was usually like way worse for most people. When honestly, like for something like that, you should be your shot should be getting a little bit more dialed in because you're getting into that flow of things. But I think the pressure got pretty high at that point, whether this rushed it too much and we're missing even like that first target that's only like 20-30 feet away from you that you get to shoot unlimited paintballs at.
Yeah, the running and shooting one kind of didn't go as well as even the kid who won it was like, no way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how is it possible that I won that?
Yeah.
You know, because there was so much inconsistency because people just kept going faster or rushing and to go back to like the snake drill, the very first time we did it with everybody, it was like, okay, crawl right up to here, pop up, line up your shot, take that shot, crawl up to the next one, take that shot. And everybody would just come up and just fire an errant ball into the air and then hustle up to the thing, not listening to I was standing right over everybody. Like, we're standing there saying, keep going. Okay, take your time, take a breath. And it seems like they were listening to us, and then they would just pop up, shoot a ball,
Before they even stop, like,
Yeah.
moving, like, aiming, it was just like fireball.
Yeah. So, obviously the biggest piece of advice that we can give is know what the drill is before you go in there. It's kind of like knowing the field. You don't walk out to the field without kind of at least glancing around at it, right? And the combine drills are all accessible to everybody, and so that's a huge tool to have, because you're coming out there and you want to showcase your skills. You're getting graded so that way possibly you can get on a new team.
Yeah.
And players have been picked up based on these events, right? If you're a really good player and you come out there and you're like, you just stunt on all these things, that shows a couple of things. One, you've got the skill sets that are necessary to be able to execute these drills and shoot these targets and be accurate. But you can also have the very important skill set of knowing how to follow instructions and paying attention.
Yeah.
And that's something that, again, when we went into Sunday, a lot of people struggled with. It was just kind of going autopilot. And so that's something that you got to really, really pay attention to.
There was like, I remember towards the second heat, I wanted to go try the snake drill again for myself, because they're, what was it?
Zuno! Yeah, shout out to Zuno.
He crushed it, and he went through it really fast and hit both targets, and I'm like, that kid's about my same speed. I want to see where I line up against him. I need to go back and do it. So towards the end of that second heat, I was sitting there, and I had my barrel off and my hopper off, and I was like cleaning my feed neck, and everyone's like, is your gun messed up? Do you like, what's wrong with your gun? I was like, nothing's wrong with my gun. And then I was like, this is a perfect example. And I'm like, everyone take a second here. Like, you have, when someone goes and you have another 10 minutes or so to get ready for your second run, you don't want to give any room for error, so that when you go up and perform, that's all you have to worry about is your accuracy, your game. So, making sure that there's no broken paint in your hopper, in your barrel, everything needs to be perfect. I mean, like, I use a good example is like, if you're, an NFL wide receiver, you don't want to go out there with your shoelace untied. It's like all those small details that you can control. You want to be able to take care of those, so that when you go out, you don't have to, have something bad happen to you because you didn't prepare something you can control, you didn't do, and ends up costing you. It's like coming out with 15 balls in your hopper and you're about to start the drill. And
that happens so many times.
You're out of paint, or your hopper's off, or you don't have air, or your batteries are dead on your
that
gun.
happened
It's
too.
like, if you played for 3 or 4 weeks and then you come out to do something, whether it's a tournament or a combine or anything, might be a good idea just to throw some new batteries in there,
Yeah, and we say it. I say it all the time. You say it all the time, and that's something like, there's no excuse for you to go on the field without working equipment, especially if it's like something as novel as your batteries are dead. You went out there with half of a loader, your pods weren't full. You got to control all the variables that you can control, because there's so much that's going to go on as soon as the the horn blows, and it's like says game on. I can't control what the other team is going to do. I can only do what I can do. But if I start the game with my gun off, my loader off, I didn't shoot my gun a couple times before the drill started. What's his name? He started the drill and slid in and was like, oh, my gun's off,
Yeah.
That one, I think it was Chris Peace, who had a fantastic run. He was doing the running and shooting drill. He ran out right-handed, hit all 3 targets, ran out right-handed, hit all 3 targets, and then was like, ran out the other time and wasn't shooting his gun the whole time and hit like one of them and goes, oh, I was out of paint. It was like, hold on, why didn't you just reload? Or why didn't you start the drill with a full loader? Sorry to throw Chris under the bus, but he was a great sport, and he crushed it in the snake drill also.
Yeah.
So he was one of the top dogs, but like that killed his score.
Sure. And
then he went left-handed and he was kind of all discombobulated. There was a lot of stuff going on, but like if you're gonna start a drill and you gotta, or if you're gonna start the point, you just don't start it with an empty loader or like half-filled loader.
Yeah.
Batteries, and then his batteries died too.
Yeah.
Same guy. So there's so many variables out there that you can control, and then obviously those of you who are playing paintball right now, in the winter, paint, right? I think there's 2 different paint drills in BKI, caring for paint in the cold weather, caring for paint in the hot weather. Like, control that variable.
Yeah.
Even when we were playing the WCPPL in, the last 2 events, it was like, put the paint in the cars.
Yeah.
Get it in there, either heat it up or cool it down.
Sure.
Do whatever you need to do to make sure that you can be as competitive as possible, and all you have to worry about is what the other team's doing.
Yeah.
Right? And that you're just focusing on the game plan, not that you're bouncing them too much or breaking paint or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, it's a frustrating thing. Quick shout out and air horn to Mr. Fortkey, 66. Thanks for the support. We appreciate that. And you got it on the answering question, guys. Remember, this is a Q&A. This is born as a Q&A session. So if you guys have questions out there, toss them our way. Davis Jeffrey asked if Aftermath is going to be a legit threat. I think so.
Yeah.
I think Aftermath, any team, any group of guys, whether they know how to play paintball or not, underneath Mike Hinman is going to be a legit threat.
Yep.
And I think that's all that you need to say. Plus, I've seen these guys play a lot. The guys that they picked up are going to be a great addition to the.
There's some pictures out there somewhere. They had like a full team photo.
Yeah. Also, I guess we got to say, get well soon, Mr. Trent Nita. I know that he was out there practicing to get onto the Aftermath squad. He's a hungry, really good player, a bully up in the front. And I know he's been grinding a lot through all the programs, every single program, paintball program that's out there. He's in there, and all he wants to do is play paintball. I know he cut his hand open on a stake, which is super unfortunate. I think it happened like at the beginning of Saturday.
Yeah, he said his third point in.
So we wish Trent Nita the best. Hopefully he gets better. I'm sure it's going to be not a problem. It's not even going to be a small speed bump in his career. And we were actually talking about it's like a lot of those kids, it was like they're about to go pro or they will be pro.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not even really worried about it.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it sucks, but dude, these kids are all going pro.
Yeah, there'll be other opportunities.
For sure. So yeah, what would you say is the biggest thing to practice to become a better player? From Andrew Sexton. There's so many things. I don't know how you would say what's the biggest thing to practice. I mean, honestly, if you look at the Combine challenge drills, all 5 of them now, those are like the 5 fundamentals, individual fundamentals: snap shooting, diving, running and shooting, breakout shooting, and then lateral sliding and body control.
Yeah.
Those 5 fundamentals, those are the things that are always perishable. Those are things that if you're not constantly like throwing a little bit into it each weekend, they just kind of like diminish slightly.
Yeah.
Give a little nice tarnish of rust across there. So you always got to keep polishing it. It's like my mirror.
Yeah.
That just got cleaned for the first time since we moved in here. Like I didn't even know what it looked like until you rub off a little bit of that soot.
Yeah. Antique rust.
Or our blinds. I don't know if you guys noticed, but these blinds, we had a housekeeper come for the very first time in the
house is spick and span.
Oh yeah. Let's go. That was a good one.
But I mean, honestly, the biggest thing overall, besides any one fundamental drill, is understanding the game. It's like, we talk about our buddy Lamb that he's just still learning how to hold his gun correctly. But he has watched so much paintball on Go Sports, and he's a smart guy and knew the game. But that's, my eyes, is one of the biggest things. Is like, once the faster you can learn the game, the fundamental stuff you will are obviously really important. But if you know the game, you'll know, like, hey, maybe if I'm not that good at snap shooting, I'll just maybe submit sometimes. I'm going to come shoot you another way because I know the game. I know how I'm going to figure out this guy's over here, this guy's over here. Maybe I can figure out a way to bunker this guy. So, experience playing as much paintball as you can is going to be the best thing that you can do. Yeah,
and that's a really good point. And like Marcelo has so much film room stuff on BKI.
Yeah.
Go Sports has that film room stuff, the breakdowns. I actually just did one of World Cup. I was highly critical of every single player on my team, including myself. Hopefully I don't get too much flack and Tyler doesn't want to rip my arms off and Marcelo doesn't yell at me. But you know, I go into pretty great detail of like each individual point and kind of what happens, but Marcelo does a fantastic job of that on BKI as well. And for those of you guys who are not BKI members, you can use Spick and Span 1 or Spick and Span 01, I believe. Will get you 50% off your first month. I can confirm that for you before. I believe it's in the Spick and Span 01. Spick and Span 01 will get you 50% off of your first month's membership of BKI, meaning that it'll be $10 for your first month. And it's actually a really good introduction. There's like over, I think, almost 500 pieces of content on there, hours and hours of stuff. And that's actually to answer Brian Narcisse's question. I might have just completely destroyed your last name. Other than drills, what would you recommend to someone whose parents won't let them play paintball due to COVID? And there's a bunch of dead space they have each weekend. So there's some indoor stuff, drills that you can do. I know Nick Laval is putting out some stuff. We have a lot of stuff that we released specifically for when you're stuck at home, whether it's snap shooting with reball, snap shooting in the mirror, training. But honestly, the film room stuff, like Kyle just said, is understand what the mental, what you were doing, what the reason was to make a lot of the moves that people were making.
Yeah.
And why there was maybe there was a mistake. Maybe they did it correctly. Maybe they could have done it better.
Yeah.
So study what your peers and your opponents are doing. The form and body mechanics stuff that I released really will help you kind of like looking at pictures of yourself and thought you looked really cool, thought you were like doing something sick, and then you look at a picture of it and you're like, oh, it didn't look nearly as cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still how it is now when I look at some of my pictures.
Yeah.
I'm looking through all this stuff. I'm like, dude, I did some sick moves at World Cup, and then all it is just a bunch of pictures of me reloading like this, or I'm like holding my gun like that. I go, oh, God, is that really what I look like right there? Man, I thought I looked way cooler.
Yeah, and then even like on the Go Sports side, find I don't know how many there is of these, but find a player that, pertains to the position that you play a lot. And I know that Maddie started doing a lot more of those, it's like a game room breakdown where I've done one of them where he talks about like so you yourself, I think there's a couple like with Keith Brown, Billy Bernaccia, but you can go watch, a few of those games and particularly look at how those players play. And then you can go back and watch those interviews with Maddie and that specific player and kind of, get inside their head and hear their thought process. And then that'll help you make some correlations and connect on. And hopefully those ideas and theories and strategies will start to resonate with you.
Tactics. Go Sports tactics.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we got. That's why we have you guys here.
Yeah.
You guys, we need you guys. This is this very, very symbiotic relationship that we have going on here. So thanks for that one, Mr. Blue Fox. Mr. Blue Fox.
Marcelo's Paintball IQ book, another good one.
Oh yeah, Marcelo does have a book that he wrote, which is pretty awesome. So that's a good one. Obviously, anything that you can get, any chance that you can get to get on, and we can break some things down for everybody.
I have I'm gonna grab that thing from my room that my mom sent me.
Oh yeah, Kyle's got something. So one thing that I did want to ask you guys, what do you do? Have we talked about the possibility of going to limited paint? It's actually pretty funny because that's something that's constantly on the table, and we want to talk about like paint consumption. And I was talking with Jeff there over the weekend about what would be the reason for going for limited paint. And obviously paint budget's a big concern, spending a lot of money on paint. But if you only had to shoot 4 pods in an event, or per point, that could greatly increase the amount of times that you're going to be able to play. Now, I had a theory that, maybe you're not going to consume as much paint per match, but you're going to end up still playing more paintball overall. In my opinion. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think they should do limited paint in some way, shape, or form? What do we got here? Oh, game plans.
Yeah. I forgot where the date is on here.
This one couldn't be digitized. Right here. Do you know how old you were when you made this?
No, I
Is
don't.
there a date on there? This is a basic 3-man.
Yeah, so this is like, I don't know, something I would do when I was younger. Just and this, even these little things will help you, just because it's like, I don't know, I guess in like school when we tell you, well, you gotta keep practicing that math problem. You're not, if I give you the answer right away, you're not gonna learn anything. But this is an old little like game plan that I drew up. There's a bunch of writing on here. It's kind of hard to read everything, but doing any of those type of those things, especially if you're at home and you can't go play paintball right now, or if you're anywhere where it's super cold and snowing, and take some free time and just get some thoughts going through your head and break some stuff down. But I was just consuming myself with anything I could do, whether it was like paintball magazines or watching every single possible video that there was, just to learn as much as I can, soak in as much as I could as I was climbing up through the ranks, to help out.
Get as much paintball in your system as possible. It's a really good point.
Yeah.
So that way you kind of like, and also, one thing that we did talk about when we were going through the snake drill, we were trying to explain to everybody how the snake drill worked and kind of like just the intricacies of what to do. And a great portion of that is like body control, right?
Yeah.
And the ability to pop up, so go over a lot of the movements in paintball in your mind and kind of put your body in those positions and figure out, is this comfortable or how am I going to execute this?
Yeah.
And why do I not look like Kyle Spicka when I'm playing the snake?
Yeah.
How's my body not in there? And so that way it's like second nature for you. So whenever if I needed to go show somebody a lateral slide, I don't even have to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can explain it to a T in like almost slow motion. But if if you're not comfortable with it, that's something that you can take into consideration on what you can try out at home. So yeah, and Loyal Blue Fox had a good point. If you can't afford BKI, that's okay. You're not like stuck in the world of you're not going to get any help whatsoever. There's plenty of stuff on. There's plenty of stuff online. I have a whole pro tip section. Play Smart Paintball. I know that a lot of other players out there offer a lot of like how to play this, how to do that. The lateral slide drills are all over the place out there. How to dive is in there. And just kind of soak up as much information, or grab a couple of buddies and split a BKI membership. I don't care if you guys share logins. We talked about that before. So just whatever you can do to get better at paintball. And that's also one of the big passions of mine is like, I like to teach paintball because it teaches confidence.
Yeah.
Right. And there weren't a lot of sports that I could play when I was growing up because I was small. I wasn't playing football, wasn't playing basketball. There's a lot of, I know you're in the same boat as I was in. And like, this is such a great sport because it's very empowering to everybody who has a paintball gun in their hand. So make sure you study up so you don't trip when you get to the big, your big opportunity, and you don't mess up. And that's also why I'm really excited that we're gonna introduce or reintroduce the lateral slide combine drill as the fifth. There's going to be a fifth drill, individual skill set drill, which we had at the very first one. We got rid of because of time constraints, but we've kind of gone through the schedule for the Arizona Combine, and we're pretty confident that we can get everything, in at that event.
Yeah.
And I think it's a super important skill to have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be probably at this point the most physically demanding one.
Yeah.
This lateral slide combine drill.
Besides the snake one.
I don't know. I think it's actually harder than the snake one.
Yeah, yeah.
It's right there. And that's what I love too, right? It's because like everybody comes in that first group was like defeated after the snake drill. And they're like,
what do we sign up for?
What do we sign up for? And you're like, don't worry, this is the hardest one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So yeah, anybody who was out there this weekend and has done that I think only one person who's in here, and that's Dizon, has done the lateral slide drill also. I think it just got unlocked on the BKI or the Paintball Combine site. But it's a great one. I love that drill.
Yeah.
Lateral slides are my favorite thing to teach. It's funny because Marcelo and I always have an argument about how like when we're like teaching things, if we're ever doing it together, he's like, I'm not teaching this one.
Yeah.
This is on you.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to get hurt.
Yeah.
But I think it's an incredibly important skill set to have.
Sure.
And people always screw up. And that the whole concept behind it is you have to do 10 reps. You're sliding in the left or to the right, and you have 3 targets in front of you. And you have to shoot. You have 3 shots to hit whichever target we say. Like I'll say right, left, or right 1, left 3, right 2, right 3. And you go through this sequence, and they're all predetermined sequence. So we'll have a card, and some of them are a little bit more difficult than others, the sequences. But that's what you're going to get. It's not going to be. It's going to be random, but it's going to be one of those 4 sequences will be called out for you.
Yeah.
And you're going to go, and you have 3 shots to hit that target.
Yeah.
And that's what's so important about taking your time and not rushing it, which is what we saw so much when we were doing the teamwork stuff and everything else. Is like everybody rushed it, and you miss that shot, and it adds, 3 seconds or 1 second to your overall time.
I have an advanced sliding drill too that I filmed at summer camp last year. It did the 2 different.
Oh yeah. The 2 different ways to dive.
Superman diving, if you feel like have too much momentum, or if you don't have enough, and then also lateral sliding into a corner to get up quickly to have your gun up and beat, get dominance on the tape quicker. So that's on there too as well, which is a really good one.
We actually had a lot of comments. I'm sorry I didn't get back to this whole the 4 pods thing. I didn't ask you. I know you kind of were. We're all kind of like not opposed to it, and I guess if it happened, it's okay. If it doesn't happen, we're not going to be bummed about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of impartial, but a lot of people say they don't like the 4 pods.
I'm a fan of
7
the
to
4.
8. 7 to 8 seems reasonable. Yeah, that's unlimited paint right there. That's what that's called. And some of you guys are kind of like.
Should I shut this door over here? Someone's trying
maybe.
to sneak in.
Someone's trying to sneak in right now. So yeah, there's a lot that's up with the 4 pods thing. And the reason you limit the paint obviously is because of the budgets. Sorry, we're kind of jumping around here with a lot of this stuff. And so yeah, it would kind of slow the game down. I mean, we did, yeah.
Wait, what? 4 pods to slow the game down?
From
Is that or?
Yeah. Well, because we went to 2 pods and it didn't really. I
mean, I didn't think
it didn't really speed up the game. Because when you get down to that last pod, everybody doesn't want to make a mistake. That's the kind of weird thing.
That
was with 2 pods in Europe.
But wasn't it 4 pods when with Golden State Kings?
Oh, maybe it was.
Yeah, it was 2 pods a year before.
Mm-hmm.
But that I believe that whole year with us with Golden State Kings was 4 pods.
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe you're right.
Say it was. And I thought it just helped get rid of some of that lull, that lengthy time at the beginning of the point where everyone's kind of sitting there.
Right.
And 4 pods is like enough that you can risk some bounce shots here and there, but you don't want to do it too much. I'm a big fan of the 4 pods, but that's just me. I mean, it's advantageous for me.
Right. Yeah. And that's true. Right.
Yeah.
So, and I'm right in the middle. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it because I'm quick enough to, like, you're right.
Yeah.
But again, it does hinder some of those guys who are like playing this game, and they could, because it's like, I want to be able to plop back here and kind of like move between these 3 or 4 bunkers and shoot my gun the whole time.
Yeah.
And again, that kind of takes away that whole beauty of paintball.
Yeah.
But then again, on the flip side, it's like some people are struggling to shoot all that paint.
Yeah.
And I think I forgot where we were. I remember some teams were like, we're just gonna like kind of go out there with what we got. You know. And if they can't afford to, like throw out another 7 or 8 cases of paint to play the next match, they're gonna not do that. But with four pods, you can kind of elongate the amount of paintball you can play.
Yeah, and I mean that's like perfect for me. I'd love to run to the snake
With only
every
4
time
pods.
4 pods, but I typically don't go onto the field without, even if I'm running the snake off the break, without 6 pods usually. Maybe sometimes 5 minimum, but you know that's another good point. And not to go off on a tangent here, but I always tell that as a front player, like, you sometimes have to be able to turn back into, a 2 or a back player, especially if you're on one side of the field and you lose 2 players on the opposite side of the field. Like, you have to do what you can to slow down the bleeding. That's a big common thing, especially you saw, yesterday when we're doing the 5-on-5 is front guys would just stop shooting. They have 2 guns on them and they're just not shooting all. Just put some paint somewhere, like into the other side of the field where you think that they might go, because if both of your front guns are down and no one's shooting, then you're essentially just waiting. You're playing a 3-on-5.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of pros to it.
Yeah.
And I definitely think there's some cons, some slight cons, but I think the pros outweigh the cons in this respect. Like you can manage with 4 pods, and everybody can manage with 4 pods.
Yeah.
If it went to imagine this, just to play devil's advocate. Imagine it goes, everybody has to carry 8 pods minimum. You can carry 8 to 13 pods. Then you're like, wait a minute, that's unfair.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I feel like it would work.
Yeah.
But again, it's just they're just trying to figure out what the best fit for it is.
Yeah.
And then Forky had a good question. On average, how young do future paintball prospects typically start playing? Well, let's look at Colton Dahl.
Yeah. 13 or 12.
I think he was 12 when I saw him bunkering people when he was 12 years old.
Yeah.
At level up.
Yeah.
He would run up to the little cake, which was as tall as he was, and he would just stick his gun over the top of it, whap, and just bunker people when he was like 11 or 12 years old.
Yeah.
So Colton's a great example. Like he has the opportunity and will, as soon as he can grow into it a little bit more and get that speed going.
Yeah.
But he possesses all the skills. I watched him do the running and shooting drill at one of the first combines, and he got 100% on it, both hands. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And if he was just a little quicker, he would probably have. I mean, he might even actually, Lori, and we can look back at some of the scores, but he might have one of the top 10 scores in the world, and he's now, I think, he might play 14 or 15 now.
Yeah.
But
I
started playing when I was 15.
That's about the age I started.
Yeah, right around there. So you don't have to start. It's not like you're required to start playing paintball at 10 years old in order to go pro. You can pick the sport up, and it's a mental thing. It's like you just gotta have the mental tenacity and be able to get going here. Sloan is going nuts out there.
Yeah. And then Steve said, "What's A-Rod gonna do with only 4 pods?" Actually, I think A-Rod would prefer to play with 4 pods. A-Rod would probably prefer to play with 1 pod. I mean, he just sometimes when we're doing like pickup days, just with like us pros, he'll only have like 1 or 2 pods. I'm like, A-Rod, you need to carry more.
We talked
paint.
about that
like,
all the time, right?
Because A-Rod, he typically, you think he's a lot of times predominantly like a back player. He has a great shot off the break. His fundamentals are, top 5 in the world, but he wants to be at the front. He wants to be a front guy. He thinks like that. So he might start back there, but I think that's something actually that would help A-Rod if it's 4 pods, because he wants to go through and get down the field.
Yeah. So we're at 65 likes here. If we hit 75 likes, we're gonna start giving things away. We're gonna spin the wheel, and then I'm gonna add to the wheel right now. I think we had let's see, 2 more people jump in there. Mr. Trevor Stewart. You're getting the horn. There we go. Let's see here. What else did I have on my notes? Oh, also we do have the winners for the split stage. And someone asked, who was it? Do you have to have 20/20 vision? How important is 20/20 vision? Someone just asked that up there. Not 20/20 Cup. Maybe it was they were talking about World Cup. I don't know. My vision's so bad I don't even really know. It should have been right over there. But 20/20 vision obviously is incredibly important in all facets of life. However, if you can see the paint coming, I think in my left eye, I might have 2200 vision. I don't know. I can't see anything. Like, I can't see anything with this left eye. I can read these numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like, nah. I can't read street signs with this.
Yeah.
This eye. So, hey, look at that. I'm the MVP. So, you just got to get closer to them.
However you can make your vision the best is
Just
is
do that.
good. Yeah, like regardless of it being 2020 or any number, the best vision is going to help you.
Is going to help you.
Not just in paintball.
Yeah, again, in all facets of life. So
Yeah.
So if you need to tune your eyes up, tune them up.
Yeah.
Actually, I was talking to Sean Stern last week about it too, because he's like, my vision's not very good, but he's going to be a Navy pilot, so he's like, they're going to give me a laser eye surgery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that
Yeah, he
made-
said he wants to fly jets.
Yeah, he's fine. He's a smart kid.
And then after he told me that, I was like, I always wanted to fly jets when I was young. And he's like, yeah, and that's the only way you can be an astronaut these days. I'm like, okay, so you want to be an astronaut?
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
you mean.
I
I'm
wanted
like,
to be an astronaut when I was a kid too,
yeah.
but then things took a turn.
Yeah. Elon took your place.
Yeah. Sean Stern got all the good genes. So yeah, there's if you can have good vision, hit that one up. Hey Mario, how is do we get an update on Brando?
So I think Brandon made the semi-pro DMG squad. I don't know if maybe Mario could drop some knowledge in here. I don't know if he went back up there this weekend.
Okay. All right. All right. We just hit the 85 likes. Look at that. Okay, let's give away this New Balance shirt. We're gonna give the New Balance shirt away first. I also have a couple of sponsor sticker packs here. So it will say your name here, right here. I've got 3 of these. One of these has a barrel condiment as well. So I'm gonna give away 2 sticker packs just to viewers. Anybody in there, so anybody can win one of these. Maybe we'll try to figure out a little trivia thing in there. And then this one will be a spin the wheel, and the New Balance, celebrating the New Balance team store back up and running. I will the discounted merch perk people already have the link, and the rest of the links will be going up to everybody else. But we're gonna spin the wheel right now to show. Let's see here. Who is going to get this? I can't see what is over here.
Didn't pop up yet.
It didn't pop up. Oh wait. Huh. Okay. Well, we lost the wheel. What happened to the wheel? Okay, we've lost the wheel. I have it. Well, it's not gone. It's right here. But
Yeah.
I can't share my screen right now. Something happened here.
You might have to do the old
Should I do the old-fashioned turnaround?
on the laptop.
I can actually probably do it right here. Let me see if I can do this. All right, bear with us. Technical. Okay, we're gonna go like this. Copy that. I'm gonna paste it here.
Kizan said, did the vision tests get raffled already?
Yes, they did. I've got all of the. I've got the 5 winners. I've got the 5 winners of that, which we will announce here in a second.
CS Gato asks, do you age out of playing the snake ever? When do your shoulders, elbows get too busted up from dives? It's kind of different for just depending on who it is. But obviously, I mean, there's still, you have Shane Howe, Thomas Taylor. They're still playing the number 1 in the snake. But, that does tend to happen with a lot of players. They start to come back, but there's still room for those guys because paintball is a big mental game, and timing and experience and understanding the game is a huge part of it. And so I don't really know if there's like a specific age, but I'd say that more so like probably in the late 30s.
Well, how old is Shane Howe?
Like 48 or 49 or something.
Hi.
Maybe I can figure that out.
Yeah, I think Shane Howe is well into his 40s, and he's still running the snake, So that's hi Sloan. So yeah, I mean, and Osvaldo, who played for the Ironman for a long time, he was in his 40s.
Osvaldo might be in
super. Yeah, he might
best
be
shape out of both of those guys.
Yeah,
No
he's really good shape. Brazilian player, played on Ironman forever. All right, so I can't get the screen share, but luckily we've got this guy right here. So we're gonna do it this the old-fashioned way. This is also how we're gonna. Hi, Sloan. What are you doing? Okay, so I'm gonna spin the wheel on here, and then I'm gonna show it to you guys on here. All right. So here we go. This is gonna be for the T-shirt. I would have. One of these days, I'm gonna print out all the names, and I'm gonna have Sloan grab a name out of the hat. I just think it might be too much of a mess. If that were even the case. So, yeah, Mark Johnson on AC. That's another good point. You don't have to return the screen when you have. Yeah, if Jay Stu wins. All right.
Arturo, BJ Hennenberg, I think.
BJ Hennenberg is also in his late 30s. Also. Okay, here we go. We're spinning. We're spinning. We're spinning. This is for the T-shirt, everybody. What do we got? Dan. Mr. Dan Berth. I think Dan just joined, actually. So congrats to Dan. Dan, I'm going to need your address because you also have anybody who wins. I'm going to need your address. Put on a shirt here.
Take Jay Stu off the wheel.
Oh, come on, guys. Let Jay Stu get a little bit of love. I mean, I know he gets a lot of love, actually. Jay Stu, did you get your package yet? It was I actually made your box, handmade your box.
He said he would have given it up today. He said someone else could win.
So yeah, if you guys are winners, if you guys are mega support status members, or you guys are members of the channel in any way, shape, or form, make sure you reach out to us and give us your address, just in case you do win, in case we want to send you guys something as a thank you, any of that stuff. Make sure we have that. And we're gonna get ready to spin this thing again. I'm gonna announce the 5 winners of the Split Sage eye test, the eye exam. So basically, I partnered with a company called Split Sage, and they do this eye exam that tests where your blind spot is in your vision. It's actually really fascinating, and I'm eager to see what you guys think about it, because pretty much there's not a lot of, I would call it, civilians who actually get a chance to test this out. I was one of them. Kyle was one of them, and it's a really, really fascinating, I guess, kind of tech.
Yeah.
That shows where your vision processes or struggles to process information as it comes into you, and then you can choose to use that data that you collect after you take this little flashing screen test.
Yeah.
and then she is a maniac right now. And then after hi, what are you doing? After you take that, you can see where you're deficient in your ability, your mind's ability to process information. So she's got the cheese. You got the cheese. Here you go, guys. Oh, cheese is gone. So that's gonna be interesting. The winners for this are George Martinez, won, and we're gonna be reaching out to you guys via email as well to set up the time where myself and Josh Samir will be online with you guys. So George Martinez, Jackson Rudy, Brendan Kalin, Jethro Isidro, and Jeff Santo all won these. And actually what's interesting is, because I have everybody's birthdays here too, is it'll be interesting to see the difference. I think the youngest is Jethro, and the oldest is George by quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see the differences, to kind of like test and see where, if there's anything more, like if maybe you're a little bit younger, because you do have to pay attention. You have to pay close attention.
Yeah.
You have to have a pretty good attention span, because it's about, what is it, maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes worth of, there's 97 sequences that you have to go through.
Yeah. Decently lengthy.
Yeah. So, obviously an attention span is something that a lot of people deal with. And then also your vision. again, remember I said I have my left eye is kind of funky.
Yeah.
I had a deficiency in my bottom left. Now, was that because I can't see very well, or is it because that information I just kind of missed it? And you'll see. We have some video and stuff like that we'll share with you guys. So after we schedule something with the 5 of you, I will be on the line with you as well, kind of talking you through it along with Josh, and it's pretty exciting. I don't know. I kind of like it.
I believe Josh was saying it's not something like you can change. It's genetic.
Right.
It's genetic. So it's just knowledge for you to be aware of. It's like if you have a weakness in paintball, you try to see how there's ways around it. And in this case, it's like taking an extra second to be aware of that section of the area where you may have a little bit of a deficiency compared to the others. So,
I'm reading some of the message here. Couple of people got some of the snacks. Yeah, maybe that's why Sloan wanted to jump in here. Whoever got fruit, those little fruit ribbons, those were Sloan's. So if you got a fruit ribbon in your shipment, that's it. That was one of Sloan's.
she was pissed.
So yeah, she might have been pissed. So yeah, congratulations to George, Jackson, Brendan, Jethro, and Jeff. We're gonna reach out to you guys via email. If you guys want to learn more about Split Sage, www.splitsage, that's SPLITSAGE.com. Pretty fascinating stuff, and I think they're working with some car manufacturers, a lot of government and military stuff, applications for this as well.
Yeah.
So again, really cool concepts and cool stuff. Do you have any trivia that we can do to give away 2 sticker packs to the viewers? Why don't you think about some trivia that you can do? Anything? And then let's give away these knee pads, huh? Knee pads are gonna go out. We're gonna spin the wheel again because that's pretty fun. So congratulations to Dan. Whoops.
Some Planet Eclipse knee pads here.
Yep. Okay, shuffled it up, and the wheel is spinning. Can you guys hear the noise it makes? It's actually kind of fun. Here we go. No whammy, no J Stu. Sean Byrne! Mr. Sean Byrne is going to win a pair of large knee pads. Congratulations, Sean. I think Sean's won something before, too.
So,
This thing's rigged. Actually, no, he didn't win on the wheel. He won before we were advanced enough to have technology choosing who we who we got. And yes, Bart, I promise there will be a wheel emoji. I'm gonna write it in my notes right now. Yeah, I'm writing that in my notes right now. Emoji for spin the wheel. We're gonna get that. All right, so we got 3 more things. We've got 2 sticker packs and then 1 sticker pack and a Field 1 barrel condom right here. And then we got next week we got another set of knee pads that we're gonna give away and a couple of other smaller things. And we have the goggles that we'll probably give away at the end of the month. Also, Dizon, I know you're gonna love this. Kyle and I, not so much. But I found a place in San Diego that sells durian fruit.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Illegally or?
Well, I don't know. It was on the internet, so I don't know if it's going to be illegal. But the reason I think that we should do durian fruit, hear me out, because it smells so bad that we'll start eating it right here, and Camille's going to be pissed.
Eat it like right before the end when Sloan and her bust in here.
Yeah. Next time Sloan we eat that, and we're going to be forced to get out of here.
Yeah.
Now, the whole house might smell so bad, though, for like probably 24 hours.
Really?
It smells like rotten, like dead.
Oof.
Like dead. Something's dead.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then it's like kind of sticky, so it gets stuck in the back of your mouth.
Oof.
And depending on how ripe it is,
But I heard it tastes good.
I don't think so. If it's really ripe, it's like creamy. It's like a meat.
It's like brie cheese.
It's like brie. It's like eating brie. It's like eating camembert cheese, but it smells like a dead person's foot that hiked really far with like old socks on. Yeah.
Wow.
Or you can get the one that's not so ripe, and it's like a little more tart, and it still smells like a dead man's foot. And then that gets stuck in your teeth. Yeah. It's called durian fruit. You'll see. So as I talk about it more, I get more excited about it. So maybe we'll do the saltines challenge, and then like whoever loses it eats it. But they're huge. They're big. And unfortunately, for you guys, unfortunately for me also, is I don't think I can ship that to anybody out there like I did. So basically, a couple of you guys were lucky enough to not only get the Spick and Span mug, but inside that mug was a 1,000-year-old egg. I don't think that I can ship out like rotten flesh.
Yeah,
smelling
probably
fruit. No.
Probably not.
Probably not. All right. Okay.
I'm trying to think of a good trivia here, but
a good trivia. Okay, how about this? J Stu, Dizon, who else? Fortkey. You guys are probably the best three at questions and trivia. So why don't the three of you guys, because I have three more things to give away, give me a bit of trivia if you guys have it. Do you guys have any trivia? And Loyal Blue Fox, I don't know what a dead man's foot tastes like, but I can only imagine. Like I kind of get it. You know what I mean? I can kind of understand. While we're thinking about some trivia, really quickly to go back onto the Arizona Combine and the planning that we have for the Arizona Combine. I've got a sample itinerary, so it's going to be full out, all day kind of thing. Obviously, starting around 7:30, check in G2. As you guys can see, the G2, them right there, this logo, right there. There it is. The G2 crew will be warming everybody up both days. They will be doing a G2 drill set, which hopefully will include the lasers to time everybody. It's relatively intensive workout, so it's going to be great to get everybody's blood flowing before you get into all of the heavy drills. Then we're going to do the lateral. We're going to go straight into from that till about 9 to 10:30. Then we're going to get into all of our gear back on. So you're going to warm up kind of like not in all of you're going to do the G2 stuff, probably not with all your heavy gear on. And luckily we're doing it in Arizona, so the weather's going to be nice. It might be a little brisk, but you'll warm up nicely. And again, the G2 stuff and being physically fit in paintball is incredibly important, as we've talked about quite a bit. I know a lot of people take that part of paintball for granted.
yeah.
And then from about an hour and a half per station is what we're gonna plan for. We're gonna do the lateral slide. There'll be 4 stations of that, and then the snake shooting and the snap shooting drill will be going on simultaneously on the same field. So we're gonna have the snap shooting drill kind of off to the side of the snake drill that we're gonna be going through there. Please, if you're planning on doing the Arizona Combine, study these drills. Know what you're doing, okay? Because this event is not as much instruction as it is showing us your best. Showing us what your best is. Again, a lot of players from the Florida Combine last year, one of them allegedly may have gotten picked up by AC Dallas.
Yeah.
A handful of them have gone pro or are playing pro or have had the opportunity to try out for pro teams. Connor Hatcher, I think, was a great example of a player who came out there, showcased everything. He won the snake drill last year at the Florida Combine, and Greg Pauly had him fly out to try out for AC Dallas. So like, there's great opportunities there. So this is one time that you don't want to come out there and blow it. And then we're going to transition and we're going to go back into, we're going to switch fields, and we're going to go towards the end of the day, probably ending at around 5 p.m. So again, like I said, this is going to be a 8 to 10 hour day. A lot of work. Okay. So this is going to be very intensive. We're going to do the breakout stations and the run and gun stations. And then the first thing in the morning on Sunday, we're going to keep the same groups in the heats. We're just going to switch fields. So if you did the breakout one, now you're doing the running and shooting. We're going to finish up with that. And then we're going to go start working into those teamwork things. While we're working into the teamwork is where we will start picking the teams, because everybody will be doing a red zone drill, and we'll probably be doing the 3-on-3 attack the 50 drill in some capacity. And then we're going to do a quick lunch, and then we're going to do a tournament. That's when everybody's going to be playing against each other. There will be, I believe, 8 teams. Is that what he said? There'll be 8 teams because there's 8 professors, and we're going to battle
pro
out.
coach.
Yeah. So if you guys have been,
This is a good question.
it's basically the way that the tournament works is it's everybody versus Marcelo. Whoever Marcelo's team is, I apologize, but everybody is gunning for you. So that's that's how we end it. Dizon knows, and so that's kind of like how it is whoever beats Marcelo, just as long as Marcelo doesn't win.
I had to go against him in the last 2 finals.
Yeah, I was in there. I would have won it. But we just didn't make it. So yeah. Dizon, actually, yeah, let's go with Dizon's. I'm gonna go with Dizon's questions because it has something to do, and I know the answer to this. So let's go with this.
For the New Balance t-shirt?
No, we already gave that one away. That's going to Dan Berthy.
So what was this one for?
This is for a sticker pack.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, HK Army sticker pack. Okay, so Dizon said, and again, you get 1 guess, please. All right. What is the significance? I think this one might be too easy. What is the significance of Ryan choosing number 18 as my number?
I don't know this. Actually.
You don't?
No.
Oh, wow. Okay. What was the other question you liked? You highlight it, or was that it?
Jisoo had one, but he already picked the winner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was, who are the 2 originators of the idea of paintball?
Michael Cruz. No. Ryan's first kissed a girl. NCPA Class AA. What was that? Alex Fragi almost got it. Great to see Alex Fragi in the house. I like, actually, that would be a good one.
18 when he started playing.
Yeah. So the winner is Ryan Cozy. I think Alex kind of gave it away, but we're giving it to Ryan Cozy. Actually, we could do the same question with Alex's number.
No. It wasn't Ryan Cozy first.
Stager.
Yeah.
Stager. Well, nope.
No, that says...
Davis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
No, when is... No. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So Davis Jeffrey. Sorry. Davis Jeffrey is the winner, Mr. Davis Jeffrey. I was 18 years old when I went pro, so that was kind of that was it right there. Sorry, Ryan. Sorry. It was that was a typo.
A triple letdown.
It was a triple. Come on.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. I'm gonna give you a sticker pack too, just because I accidentally. You did say it, so I'll give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you, Ryan. I don't want you to be sad. I want you to tune in next week. I want to make sure that you're gonna get it. So there were 2 winners on that one. It was Davis Jeffrey and Ryan Cozy. Oh, you know what we never did? We never designed your signature series gun. We got to make sure.
Oh yeah,
next year.
maybe.
We'll do that next week.
Yeah,
we'll do that next week, for sure.
Got something fun for you guys.
Okay. I am working on a new signature series force right now, and it's looking pretty cool. So I'm excited to share that with everybody.
You're doing it with crayons, or?
I started it with crayons.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's because that's how all inspiration starts for me.
Yeah.
Crayons. And then I developed it into kind of Apple's version of Microsoft Paint.
Okay.
Because I was really good with Microsoft Paint.
Okay.
20 years ago. So I've adapted that pretty well. So I'm excited to show you guys what I got. And then what was the other question? We got another one. And this is going to be for a sticker pack and a Field 1 barrel condom. Right here. Yeah, Valhalla, I want to bring back the hidden emojis. I just can't. We just don't have the printing capabilities to put the hidden emojis in there that I'm aware of. So
is this it here?
Oh wow.
Pretty lengthy question there.
I don't know what year is the first one. Forky, do you know all the answers to that one? I know the answer to the second part, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to the first one. So, actually, yeah, I do know it. Yeah, let's run with that. So ask Forky's question.
So what year did Dynasty win their first Triple Crown, and what tournaments used to make up a Triple Crown? What tournaments or what tournament series?
What tournaments? Because, well, yeah. So it would have been... Let's see here. Yeah, well, I think we... I don't think it was then...
Guys, you're asking about a signature series marker for me. I was actually in the process of having one for this year, but with everything that went on, got a little postponed, but should have that coming up very soon.
So it was... Nope. So... Actually, we still don't... It's close. We're getting it close, but it's not. It was... So we've got a lot of the dates. Some of the dates have been correct, but it was... We don't have the right event. It's this. So it's those three. That was what it was. So it would have been this year, right here. Yep. All right. Let's see here. Does anybody know?
That's a tough one.
I told my parents I won. They're flipping out. Thanks, Ryan. Well, now I definitely can't take it away from you. So Ryan Cozy and Davis Jeffrey, make sure you guys send me your guys' addresses, please. Yeah, FPS Paul, Glenn Forster might know the answer. He did have a Triple Crown poster on his wall. The NXL was not around back then, so it wasn't the NXL. Well, actually, no, the NXL was around. You're right, it was around, but that was not what it was. Because otherwise, I believe there was a time when we could have won not just a Triple Crown, but like a Quadruple Crown. What is the best AC barrel? For starters, the Field 1 Aculock Light Kit, I believe, is the answer that you're looking for right now. So the MPP. Okay, let me try to help you guys out. The MPPL and the Millennium were two of the three, and the third one was actually one that Faceful created that encompassed all of them. So nobody has it yet. So, you know who would have gotten this? Would have been that, what was his name, that kid Sean Dolan, who always like would immediately know the answer because he would wheel spin it. Are we gonna wheel spin it? No. Supreme Gamer. Yep, we're sticking with HK as a sponsor this year. Absolutely. It's not maxed. Surf City Open. No. Okay, let me put it this way. It is.
Do you want to give him?
Should I say it's on my website? It's on my website. Wheel. Forever Atonal. Yes, we can get Huntington Beach to come again, but we just need like $500,000. So if you got that, then we got an event. All right, guys, who's gonna get it? There's one event that you guys are not. Well, it's not even an event. That was a strange thing about it. It wasn't technically an event. Let's see if we get it. Nope, not Commander's Cup. Not Commander's Cup. Not Commander's Cup. Wow, this one's a tough one. Forky, you don't even know it? He even asked the question.
Well, he can't answer it.
Oh, true. Or Jay Stu did it.
Oh, I think we got it, right? No?
There it is. Now we got to get the year. So we've kind of got the answer, but we just don't have the year attached. So it's attached. And HP was the sickest event, 20 minutes from your house. Legit. Okay, this is a good question. Smart Parts Cup. Nope. Millennium NPPL and PSB. Nope. Not Commander's Cup.
Wait, right here, look.
Yep, Stager. Stager's the winner. Mr. Stager. Okay, so the events were the NPPL Series Champions, the Millennium Series Champions, and then what was called the World Paintball Series Champions. The World Paintball Series had they placed points based on each event, being like Huntington Beach was a major, World Cup was a major. When I had all my Faceful magazines, it had like all the scoring
Yeah, I
system.
remember that.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
There she is, and just in time because here comes the monster. But 2002 was our very first one. 2003 we won it again. 2004 we won it for a third straight year, and then we did not win the World Paintball Championships in 2005, but we did win the NPPL Series for the fourth, and then the fifth straight year, and then the sixth and seventh straight year all the way through 2008. So we won the NPPL Series Championship 7 times in a row. Oh wow. She just went right into the fridge and just grabbed what she wanted. So, Stager won. So, Stager, shoot me your guys's, that would have been a good one too, is how many years in a row we won the NPPL. I probably shouldn't have just given it away right there. Should have kept that one in the bank for labor. So, okay, everybody, this time around, you want to sit up here? You want to say goodbye? You can say goodbye this time. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, thank you guys so much for your support. You want a little applesauce? Yeah, Stager, that was a good one. You want to answer John McCann's last question?
Speaking of sponsors, Kyle, is it difficult for smaller outfits like Carbon companies, I guess smaller companies like Carbon, to get their gear on bigger teams like HK as Dynasty head to toe, no room for carbon pads or whatever? I wouldn't say it's hard. It's just a matter of scaling, and it is, they're trying to do it appropriately. So Carbon doesn't want to go out and just exacerbate all their resources and then not still be able to, keep their brand loyalty and basically, continue to make a great product. So going from, step A to step D, you don't want to skip all those other steps and then, forget about your roots. And Carbon's really big on making, a very high quality product. And with that, as you scale out, some of those other areas can kind of be, a little bit more difficult to keep that up. So, I think that's a big reason. So they're just taking it very carefully and slowly working up to those areas where you see, HK and GI and these bigger guys. So.
And you heard it there. Yeah? Again, thank you guys so much. And yes, Jordan Nees, I have been to Wisconsin, and I look forward to possibly going out there and doing some more clinics. We do have a clinic in St. Louis. I was actually just talking about that recently. Now that the NXL schedule is officially here, then we can get your hands out of there. Then we can start booking events and clinics. As you saw from the event schedule, there is a pretty big lapse between event 2 and event 4. So that's a perfect time to get some good training by your favorite pro player, whether it's me, Kyle, Marcelo, Tyler, or any of the other pro players out there who go out and teach clinics. That's your best opportunity. So if you have a field, if you guys have a local field, have the field owner contact us, and then we're happy to set something up. I'm going to be going out to New York to train the low gravity guys. I'm actually really eager to see how the rest of the guys are playing out in that camp. Mr. Zuno and actually all those guys really did show up in that New York clinic. You know, you guys actually knew what you were doing, which was good to see. It's really good to see you guys studied before you came out there. So really stoked to be able to come out and start traveling a little bit more for paintball, teaching as much paintball as possible, and then yeah. And Federico Diaz, how many paintball cases does Dynasty use on average per tournament? We usually go through about 70 to 80, depending on how far we make it in the event.
You having fun?
You having fun? All right, guys, we gotta go. We have overstayed our welcome here, and young Sloan needs to play. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thanks everybody who's a member for all your support. All of you mega support status members, check your mailboxes. You should be getting a poster and a really cool coffee mug coming to you soon. There's also a little surprise in some of your coffee mugs. Could be an egg, could be a fruit snack, could be, I don't know.
Not peanut brutal.
Could be anything. It's definitely not peanut brutal. We wouldn't do that to you. And then also everybody else, if you did just win a prize, make sure I get your address. I need Dan Berth. I need Cody McDaniels. I need Sean Byrne. Ooh, we almost went dark right there again. I need Quentin Lyons. I need Davis Jeffrey. I need Ryan Cozy, and I need Mr. Stager. I need all you guys' addresses so we can ship out your stuff as soon as possible. Here you go. You want to play with this? Go ahead. Hit it. Get it. There you go. I turned it off. All right, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.